Hi guys, welcome back to Beauty and Soul with Darian. So let's do some makeup. I am about to get ready to go to a play tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup for it, and let's have some conversation. Okay, let's just talk about some things. Okay, today let's talk about love. Alrighty, let's get started. I'm gonna start with my brow. I'm actually going to be using an eye pencil, but I use this as my lip pencil. I use it as my brow pencil. I just use it for basically whatever I want to. But this is the Essence long lasting eye pencil I'm about to use. So I guess tonight we're gonna do a full brow. I just got my brows threaded, and this is one of my newer pencils. The tip is still fresh. All right, so I am going to a play. Yes, she is well-rounded. Actually, I just like doing, you know, different things, trying different things. I like seeing different things. So I'm going to see a play that is inspired by, I guess you can say, or they are reenacting the movie Pretty Woman. So I don't know if you're familiar with that movie, but basically the gist of it is that two unlikely people end up, you know, falling in love. So I feel like that would be cute. That's actually one of my favorite movies from like when I was a little bit younger. I don't know why, I think I just like it because in the movie I feel like it shows that different people can come together. Different people can love each other. Different people from different environments can come together and love each other. It doesn't matter, you know, if you come from the same place or the same environment. It can still be a loving relationship. You know, if you're willing to look past the differences, you know? Love is more important than what something seems. All right, so I like this eye pencil because it makes my brows look really thick. And when I'm doing like, you know, I guess heavier makeup, sometimes I do like a thicker brow, but for the most part, I like to use a thin pencil to do my brows. I just feel like it looks more natural. But for tonight, we're gonna do a thick brow, dramatic eyebrow. All right, almost done. Okay, so I am now one of those people who believe that when you go searching for things, like when you're desperate for something, especially something like love, because I feel like love is something that's just like naturally like supposed to be there, I guess. I feel like when you go searching for it, you're more likely to be blinded. Okay, so let me explain it this way. So usually when you go searching for something, it's because you feel like you need it, or you feel like there is a deficit. And obviously for love, that's something we all need as human beings, love. I think humans in general will go wherever they can to receive the love that they're looking for, even if it's not a true source of love, or it's perverted or deformed type of love. Like if it's like not real love, it's abusive or anything like that, I feel like it's easier to go to that version. Like a lot of people are not receive the love that they deserve, okay? So they go looking for it basically in any place. It doesn't matter, like it could be like the most terrible person, but because they're portraying this fake love or this form of love or what feels like love, a lot of people would be more willing to go to that. You know, of course, some people have discernment and some people just, you know, there's different reasons why people do things. But I feel like the average person would settle for a false form of love rather than feeling like they have no love. All right, so I'm taking this ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer. This is the color Dark 145 W, and I am using this as the base for my eyeshadow. So yeah, I feel like most people just want love, so they're willing to go to any thing that is portraying that it's giving that love. That's why I feel like a lot of people end up in like abusive relationships, or just relationships where they're not treated well, because that other person portrays the great love. They portray that they're a good person from the beginning, that they really love that person. Maybe they can buy that person things and make them feel loved, or, you know, sweet talk that person. And let's just be honest, most of us, we like sweet talk. We like the, you know, what makes us feel good, that talk. feel like a lot of people fall for that. You know, I have compassion for people, and I don't think people just, you know, decide that they're gonna be in a bad relationship or, you know, like a struggle love relationship. But when you don't even know what love is, or you don't even love yourself, it's easy to fall into the trap of a false love. It's easy to, you know, just tolerate anything or take anything. But usually there comes a time where it's like, you either are going to stand up for yourself, or you're gonna continue to stay in a situation that's not serving you. So that comes from a place of self-love. Now, when I was young, probably like middle school, maybe even high school, I used to feel like when I got older, I was just gonna run off and get married. Because I felt like, I don't know, I was looking for some fairy tale love. So I felt like I was just gonna run off and just get married. And thank God that that did not happen, because who knows what situation I would have been in. Especially because when I was younger, I was very naive. Like, I was smart, but I was very naive with some life situations. So I definitely understand how a lot of people can get in, you know, these situations today. Like, I really feel like most people are not just looking to get in a bad situation or to get into, you know, bad things or, you know, bad situations. I feel like sometimes, you know, things in life can cause people to do things or to go certain ways that they would have never expected they would end up in a situation, but because of how it feels in the moment, that's where they end up. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so I'm taking a dose of colors, the Sassy Sienna's palette, and I am going to go in and take this orangey brown. It looks more brown in person, but I'm gonna take this color. And I am going to take this fluffy brush and just blend that out into the crease. I don't want to do too heavy of an eyeshadow. I'm not doing lashes today. I'm just trying to do a quick face glam and then get dressed and finish doing some stuff before I have to leave. I'm gonna actually do my best to be on time today. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this here. So I will be one of the first people to admit that I really had no clue what real love is, and I think a lot of people don't really know what real love is. I think a lot of people believe that that feeling of bliss and excitement that you get from meeting a new person is love, when a lot of times it is infatuation. It's just like you get a dose of that good feeling hormone because it's a new person, it's a new relationship, it's a new thing. But when life starts to happen and, you know, real love is not there, you're not going to want to continue to, you know, be with that person. That is the test of true love, okay? Not the butterfly stuff, not, you know, getting bags and stuff and, you know, diamonds and all this stuff. Now that is, I do believe, a byproduct of what can come from love, or what can come from being, you know, with somebody that you love. But I do not believe that those things equate to love. Those are material things. Hopefully this happens to nobody, but just for example, if the person that someone is seeing is no longer able to provide those things for that person, are you still gonna want to be with them? Are you still willing to help them, you know, in whatever way they need to be? That is the test of love, okay? Or are you gonna up and leave? And that can be applied to just about any type of, you know, thing. Like when things get hard, are you gonna up and leave, or are you gonna stay and stick through whatever it is? All right, so I like this color. Okay, so from a young age, I was always just looking for love. I was very unhealed. I had a lot of trauma. And so I didn't really go through healing. I just kind of stored the trauma that I had, like most people do, until you get to a certain point where it's like a breaking point. You just have to break free. Okay, so I'm gonna take this peachy color, this peachy orange, and I'm gonna put that on my lower lid. So when I was younger, I used to like to go on, you know, like dates and just, you know, I was looking for love in the wrong places. So I would like go on dates and I would try to like, you know, I guess, you know, what they say, you're supposed to date around and stuff. But for most of those dates, like on the first date, I was over it. Like I was ready to be back in my own space. I think it was just something to do, something to keep me company. I realized like after those dates, because I was so unhealed, I wouldn't allow myself to go further, even if they wanted to see me like, you know, more dates. There was one I did go on like a couple of times with more than one time, but I was blocking myself from receiving love, and I just wanted to go on a date really to keep me busy. And so I didn't feel weird, you know, like being the only person that, you know, wasn't dating or with anybody. But I wasn't even ready for love. I wasn't even ready for a relationship. And so I feel like there is a lot of pressure for people, especially younger people. They feel pressured to, you know, be in a relationship, and it shouldn't be like that. Like it should be normal for a person to want to heal, to want to know who they are as a person, to want to even know what they like before being even like thinking about being with somebody else. Because how can you be with somebody else if you do not even know who you are? So after, you know, all those terrible dates, they were all terrible, but there were a lot of terrible ones. After all those terrible dates, there was just one time where I was just like, you know, I'm gonna take time and I am not gonna date for like a year. And I am going to, and then it ended up being more than a year. And I was like, I'm going to just take time away from this and get to know who I am as a person, and what do I really like in a person? What do I really want? What are those qualities that I want to, you know, write down, because this is the type of person that I want. And then also, can I match what I'm asking for? And I'm not talking about materialistically or, you know, stuff like that. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But I'm just talking about, do our values match? Is this person's character up to par to my character? Is my character up to par to the character of the person that I believe I want to be with? Okay? Okay guys, I think this is all I'm gonna do for eyeshadow. I don't care for a drastic eyeshadow tonight. And taking all that eyeshadow off can be work. So I'm just gonna line my eyes right now. So yeah, can you match what you are looking for? But in that time that I was able to spend with myself and, you know, really understand what I wanted in life, I was able to grow in my giftings, like stuff that I didn't even know was inside of me. I was able to figure out my gifts, like spiritually, my talents. I was able to be productive, you know. I had time to like focus and work on dreams and stuff, and I wasn't distracted. And I'm not saying that, you know, in order to do that stuff, you can't be with somebody or you can't be in a relationship. You very well can, but when you have that time to yourself, you don't really have to answer to anybody. You can just do it, and you know. Okay, so let's do the other eye. Okay, so once you know who you are, you know what you like, what you're willing to tolerate. And I do think it's important to, you know, have a standard of who you're attracted to, but I do not feel like that should be the #1 thing, okay, when it comes to love. Because trust me, attraction can change, and how you view people can change based off of their attitude. I know that for sure. Okay, have you ever been around those people where, you know, you thought they were attractive, and then when you saw the real them, they were not attractive? Okay, so I know everyone has their own, you know, whatever, they decide what they want to do for their lives, that's your business. But I will say, when I was dating, I did not, you know, sleep with these people. I just went out and was meeting other people and getting to know people, and I felt like that, although the dates for the most part were they weren't all terrible, but for the most part I just knew they weren't terrible. I don't think it was really that they were terrible. I just knew in my heart and my soul that these were not the people for me. And then so I think because I was kind of unhealed in a lot of the dates that I went on, I was looking for the red flag, so I had a reason to flee. Okay, now I have always been one of those people, when I start seeing stuff, I just would flee. But that is not always a good thing, because you could you know, miss some things, or it could be over discerning, over, you know, it could borderline, you know, step into judging. But in that place I was very unhealed, so any red flag I saw, I just ran, because, you know, I was not trying to have any trouble in my life. But I think that me choosing to not, you know, sleep with these people and intertwine, you know, myself with these people, it was easy to just move on and not waste my time, and not, you know, be tied to these people emotionally and stuff like that. So if you are dating, keep that in mind. You do not want your spirit and your soul and emotions and all these things tied to people that you will, for the most part, probably never end up with. You know, some people do actually meet their person going out on these dates and, you know, speed dating and stuff. Some people do. I feel like most people don't always meet on, you know, like doing stuff like that. Okay, so I'm just adding some mascara. You know, as I've gotten older and just like seeing other people's stories and testimonies, I see that people come together in so many different ways. And so back to, you know, the play I'm going to tonight, although it was a very, you know, different way, you know, to meet somebody, you can find love in ways that you would never expect. Alrighty, and if you suspect that, you know, someone is wasting your time, or they're playing you, or it's a joke, just remember, don't cast your pearls to swine. So those people who do not belong in your life are those people who are wasting your time, or that are not worth what you have inside, the light, the goodness, the joy, whatever it is, you know, because we all have stuff that we are working towards to be. No one is perfect, and we all have something to offer. But when you know someone is for sure not to be in your life, or maybe they're evil, maybe they're wicked, or whatever, they're just using you for what they can get at a time, do not waste your time. Okay, how many years of life do we have on here? I mean, obviously we don't really know when we'll go, but it's not worth spending your life with someone who you're not supposed to spend your life with. What I have noticed is I watch a lot of things. Like I watch a lot of my, well, some of them are ex-friends, but I watch like their relationships. Like they put all this time, you know, for what they thought was love, which was not love. Okay, when I like to measure love, I truly believe that love, it never fails. That's the word of God, it never fails. That type of love, that is love. That is true love. Like not when all the butterflies and stuff are there, not when everything looks good and, you know, the camera and the optics, you know, it all looks good. True love is what stands. You know, if that person is sick, are you gonna stay with them and, you know, be there for them? If that person is in a rough patch and maybe they don't have as much money as you feel like they should have, are you going to stay with them? I will say this, that like me watching a lot of the relationships when I was like a young 20s, a lot of them wasted their time. A lot of them, they bought into this false sense of love. They bought into the image, basically the materialistic version of what, you know, people like to say love is today, and it ended up backfiring on them. Don't waste your time in this false sense of love. This real love, I truly believe that you will know, okay? When that person is able to what? Be patient with you, all right? They're not rushing you. They're not forcing you to do anything. You know? When you're willing to be patient with that person, that's love. Okay, that's real love. All right, when that person treats you kind, they're good to you. They want to be good to you. That is real love. Okay, they're not jealous of you. They're not trying to compete with you. They're not trying to, you know, like one-up you. You know, although I don't think it's talked about much, there are cases where, you know, either the man is jealous of the woman or the woman is jealous of the man. That's not love. You know, when you love somebody, you want the best for them on both parts, not just on one part. All right, let's move on. I feel like I have been doing my eyes for some time, my eyeshadow and stuff. When the person is willing to forgive, now that's real love, okay? It is a hard thing sometimes to forgive. But think about this, when you're in a marriage, it's supposed to be till death do us part. That person is going to do something eventually that you may not agree with. So I'm taking the Fashion Fair stick foundation, and I am taking the color Blessed Bronze. Okay, honey, blessed. Do you see this? So that person will eventually do something that you may not like. It could be terrible or it could not be terrible. But once you have committed to that person, are you just gonna up and leave? What if you do something terrible? You know? Wouldn't you want to be forgiven? That's love, being willing to forgive. Even the very people you feel like that don't deserve your forgiveness. Do you deserve forgiveness? You know, have you done some things in your life that weren't the best or that weren't nice, whether you admit to it or not? I think we just have to be mindful that we don't really know what we'll do until we're in different situations. Like, a healed person is different from a whole person. And so it can be easy to judge, but I think about it like this. A person who is whole and healed for sure reacts differently to things than a person who is not healed, than a person who has not done the work to heal their soul, heal those scars from the past. And for instance, you can tell somebody, we're gonna use this as an example. You can tell a person that their makeup looks good. So somebody who is healed would be like, thank you, thank you. Somebody who is unhealed may respond like, why are you commenting on my makeup? Do you think, you know, that I look better with it on, or something like that, you know? You get what I'm trying to say. That may not be an actual situation, but you know, I've been in a bitter place before in life. You know, when you're in that place, it can be easy to misinterpret what people are actually saying to you, because that lens that you're looking through is broken. The lens from your soul is broken. And so if you're unhealed, you can look at it from a very unhealthy perspective. What somebody may be saying. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm gonna wear tonight. I assume I should, you know, dress up nice. I do want to speak to anyone who feels like they have waited for love for a while. One day that person may come. Don't give up hope. Now, hopefully it's not later in life, but there are some instances where it does happen later in life. But hopefully, if it's like a desire that's like deep in your heart, that is like strong, hopefully that it comes. And hopefully it comes soon. But don't give up hope. I do still believe that you should, you know, if you feel led to do, go out. If you have friends that are going out, go out with them. If you feel like it's safe for you. If you feel like the app scene is your thing, that's up to you to decide. All right. I have met some crazies from that route, but you know, for the most part, whenever I went and met with people from apps, they weren't all crazy. They weren't all, you know, like, you know, they were just, for the most part, people. Not were they people for me, no, but they weren't bad. I just felt like that was not for me anymore. I truly believe that who is supposed to be in your life will come. The right people, also the wrong people will still try to come in your life. And then also there are times when someone was supposed to be in your life, but that time has come to end the relationship. you know, if you're not discerning that it's time to let that person go, I feel like that's when the problems start. At least like for my life, that's what I've seen. Is like not everybody that it didn't, you know, like continue on in relationship with in my life, not all of them were bad. I think once, you know, you feel like a relationship should end, like, or, you know, it's time to just like break apart and you continue on, I think that's when things can start to go wrong, because the time frame for that relationship has ended. And it could end because their heart's changed towards you, or even your heart could change towards that person, or y'all have just outgrown each other. I think that's when things that shouldn't happen can start to happen. Like I've seen in my own life, like I knew I should have like kind of ended things with people before, but I kept like holding on because I just wanted people in my life, and the devil used them. The devil used them to do not nice things, okay? Alrighty. But I did learn from those things. And that's why now I say I don't believe that you should force relationships. I don't believe you should force friendships. Like I used to feel so lonely and so like I just needed, you know, people around me at times. And that was the time that I ended up, you know, meeting people for the most part that just were fillers for that moment. But not all of those people ended up being lasting relationships in my life. So I'm taking my ColourPop loose powder. This is in translucent caramel. Actually, I'm going to take a brush and apply this, a fluffy brush, and apply this powder because I don't want my makeup super cakey. Okay, so if you're somebody who is, you know, like considering going on dates and, you know, just meeting other people, I will say this: be confident in who you are. Know what your standards are. Know what you're willing to tolerate. Know how far you are willing to go. Some people's standards are very little, and some people have an extreme level of standards. I think it's important when you have standards that your standards are, you know, attainable things. Before I became, you know, mature, a lot of what I was looking for was materialistic. And I'm at a place in life now where I know, like, if I was with what I thought I wanted to be with, I would not be happy, because I grew spiritually. I matured as a person, and those things that I was looking for back then in my younger years, not even that much more younger, like even like 5, 4, even 3 years ago, I do not want those same things. But yes, go confidently if you do go and you feel like you want to date or anything like that. And know that you are the favor, okay? You are the favor, all right? Now, some of the stuff going on out here, I don't understand what is happening. And I do not agree with some of the stuff going out here, okay? I watch a lot of like relationship stuff, and I discern and just watch stuff, and it's a lot of stuff going on out here. That is something I can say for sure. Know who you are, because, you know, people can see through that. People can see when you're putting on an act. People can see when you are desperate for somebody. Most people can tell. And some people will play on that. Like, they know it, so they will play on that. So protect yourself. Protect your heart. Guard your heart, okay? Alright, y'all. So I'm now taking... I went out and bought another one of these ColourPop cheek palettes. This one is such a rush, and I am going to take, I don't want to do too dark of a contour, so I'm going to try this color and see how it looks. Take a bit of, so what would I tell myself? Let me see how this looks. Okay, this looks good. I like how this looks. So what would I tell myself? I feel like this might be cool, like a cool tone. In those younger years of when I was, you know, like out and, you know, like I was younger, so, you know, like nobody really explained to me like what to do on a date or how to be on a date. You know, I just showed up and, you know, just figured it out from there. I definitely would tell my younger self to just know who you are and be healed. Make sure you're healed. If you feel like you're in a place where it's that time for you, like it's time for love or whatever, make sure you are healed. For the most part, because I don't believe that everyone will be at the perfect healed place when they do find love, because I do believe there's some situations where the person may come in and help the other person or stuff like that. You know, everyone's situation is different, but for the most part, have a healthy level of being healed. Like, don't block people out, don't, you know, stuff like that. I was very unhealed. Or I noticed that, like, when I was hurt, or even still, I feel like now I'm still learning to kind of like not run, you know, not run when you feel hurt, which can be like it can be hard, because who wants to be hurt and who wants to wait around after being hurt? I don't think anybody. Have a set of standards. I feel like in this day and age, a lot of people are just desperate to have this love. They just want this love, but there's no standard. I feel like when you're anxious for something, you're more willing to settle for what you don't deserve. You don't want what you don't deserve, you want what you deserve, okay? You want good stuff. I would have also told my younger self to give people a chance, because like I said, like as soon as I saw a red flag, I was like ready to run. Like, I am not gonna entangle myself in this mess, okay? Like, that's how it was. But as I have continued to live, I have come to realize that the truth of the matter is that everybody has something. Everybody has something that is not favorable, or something that you may not like, but the person that is for you are the people that are for you in your life, because this is applicable to many different things. The people that are for you, you will be able to handle them, and from a place of love, from a place of patience and kindness, okay? You'll be able to, I don't want to say tolerate, but you'll be able to deal with them effectively without judging them. You know, just accept them for who they are and embrace them as they change into that new person or that better person, okay? That's real love. Helping someone to become who they are meant to be. And I'm not talking about, you know, enabling and babying people and stuff like that, but loving people through their journey, through their process of becoming who they are meant to be. Okay, I love that. But that doesn't always feel good. It doesn't always feel like butterflies. All right, so I am about to take this highlighter and see how this goes. All right, and I'm gonna say this. Take this advice, please. So from a young girl, I have always felt this urgency to pray. Like before I go to sleep, like I think I was like 15, like I just knew, like before I go to sleep, I need to pray. Even if it was like a 2-minute prayer, even if it was like, you know, thank you God. Pray before you get married, please. I know. We think we know what we want. I get it. We want to feel like we can choose whoever we want to be with. Yes, you can choose whoever you want to be with, but God has a person that he wants you to be with. So it's up to you to decide that, but pray about a person before you marry them, because it can save you so much down the line. Doesn't mean that whatever relationship you'll be in or get into will be perfect. One, because people are people, we're people. We still get to decide what we want to do. We can be with somebody and still choose not to love them. So don't feel like because you're supposed to be with someone, or you feel like this person is meant for you, that they're going to be perfect. But you just want to make sure that you have God's blessing on what you're doing. You don't want to just do what you're doing because you feel like it's the right thing, and then you got yourself into a mess, and then later down the line you're trying to get out of it, and are you trying to, you know, pray for it to be fixed. I have seen a lot of situations like that. I just feel like I have seen a lot in my younger years, and so I've seen so many different scenarios. You do not want to be that person trying to fix something that was never meant to be. It's better to wait now and be sure than to get yourself into something that you're unsure about and then have to figure out later that it wasn't for you. Whomever that can help, please just make sure, like before you get married, that you know This is what you're supposed to be doing, okay? Do not waste your time with the wrong person. If they're not loving you now, don't expect them to all of a sudden now just start to love you. Don't expect you to be able to change them, even if you're just dating them. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit more contour. I guess I just wanted a little more drastic contour. All right, girl, we're no longer trying to change men. We're no longer trying to do that. All right? Men, we're no longer trying to enable women who feel entitled. All right? I feel like there's a healthy level of, you know, a man should definitely care for his woman and treat her right. And, you know, of course, it's nice to have somebody who will buy you nice things and stuff like that. But there are a lot of immature people on both sides. Women who, they want to be taken care of, but they don't want to bring anything. You know, like, they don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to do anything. They just want somebody to buy them stuff. That is not a mature woman that is fully walking in what she can walk in. If you're just looking for a man to basically support you financially, you have to be willing to bring something to the relationship also. And I'm not necessarily talking about financially or this and that, but you have to be willing to give something too. And then men, it's the same thing. So I had started rubbing the lipstick on, but this is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Cream, and this is the color Cookie Jar. So I've had this for a while. I just haven't used it a lot. But yes, men too, like, you gotta be willing to bring stuff to the table too and not expect a woman to just do everything. That's not cool, that's not okay, all right? All right, if you didn't like what I just said, I'm sorry. I don't say things to, you know, make people's emotions feel good. I tell the truth. On both sides, we gotta do better, all right? On both sides. And then there are some people who are just doing better. They already got it together, you know? They figured it out. All right, I want everybody to have fruitful relationships, fruitful life, just in general. Like, let's just live the best life we can, right? Stress-free, you know, as much as we can, live a stress-free life. I feel like life already has its, you know, moments. So let's just, you know, have good moments. All right, so I just did the lipstick. And the last step is I actually bought an actual setting spray. Since my last video that I did, I was using a mist, you know, although it worked as a setting spray for me. This is a no filter setting mist by ColourPop. So I'm about to spray this, and then I need to get ready so I can get out of here. So I can have like good parking and all that. And then I bought a ticket kind of at the front of the stage so I can see, you know, like a good, you know, visual of what's going on, you know. Not a bunch of heads in front of me. So let me go ahead and spray. It's new, so I have to like pump it a lot. I don't know what's going on, but while I wait for this to spray, I'm one of those people now that like, I will just pay for the great experience. I used to be really cheap. I used to be really cheap and I didn't want to spend money on the experience. Now, okay, this smells good. It smells like essential oil. I used to pinch pennies and I did not want to spend money, even like on stuff that I really wanted. I didn't want to spend the money. I did not have freedom when it came to spending money because I was holding on to it so tight. And of course I had a job, but my view of money was very unhealthy. And I feel like when you're selfish with money, it's kind of hard to receive it. It's hard for it to come in because you're hoarding it. And then one day I just started to change my mindset about money. I used to have a poverty mindset about money, and how can you expect to have money and really become wealthy if you have a poverty mindset about money? When you give and like you allow money to freely flow, it will come to you when you don't idolize it and make it this thing that you can't let go of because of whatever. But anyway, so I say all of that to say now I'm at a place where I'm okay with spending a little extra money for the experience, okay? I want to sit up front and see the play, and I want to, you know, not have to worry about people's heads in the way. So I bought one of those tickets, so I want to hurry up. I don't want to be like late and the show is starting. But anyway, I want to say that I want to say don't give up on love, okay? If you have found love, treasure it, take care of it, okay? Know your self-worth, know your value, know what you want, okay? Don't be out here just, you know, willing to accept anything, all right? And then also, no struggle love, okay? We don't do struggle love here. Yes, real love, true love may have some times where it's tough and you have to work through and stuff like that, but no struggle love, okay? Real love, all right? Fighting and all that type of stuff all the time. No toxic stuff, okay? We want real love, all right? So let me hurry up and get ready. I thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it helped you, okay? I hope it gave you some insight. I hope even that you learned from my experiences when it comes to dating and all this stuff. Thank you for watching. You'll see me on the next video. Bye.